basketball analysis with over 70 years combined experience. This is the Bob Ryan and Jeff Goodman podcast.
T-shirts all around, everybody. That's it. Summertime, summertime, summertime. Bob Ryan, Gary Tanguay here, brought to you by Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of CLNS Media Network. Pick more, pick less with Prize Picks. What does your T-shirt mean? Is that French?
Wait, this is a famous place in France, Place de Vosges. It's one of the great squares dates from the 17th century in France, in Paris, and it's a must stop on any itinerary. You got it. It's beautiful, and this is where Victor Hugo had a home at one point in the square. There are residences and businesses there, and it's one of our favorite places when we go to Paris.
Well, it's right up there with Webb Lake. And anyway, so we move on.
Well, it's no Webb Lake.
I mean, come on now.
Well, it's the Mugunvict.
Yeah, Muslik Muguntik up the road. We have an Olympic theme here. So you saw U.S. and Germany play. LeBron showed up. Just your thoughts on what you're seeing here.
Well, you a little concerned. You'd think that they would be imposing their will on these. First of all, the game before that, which I did not see,
right,
but which got everyone's attention, was the South Sudan, where the youngest country in the world, that people don't know that. B, no current NBA players, only a couple of bench warmers, deep bench warmers,
right.
14th, 15th guy bench warmers, and well coached by Royal Ivy of the University of Texas. Now,
Ivy, no kidding.
Some of your basketball our college friends here will recognize that name, Royal Ivy, when he was on a very good Texas team a generation ago. And we beat him 101-100 on a LeBron basket with 8 seconds to go when he went to the hoop, and we had to sweat out a couple of shots at the end. And that's just incomprehensible, frankly. So then I watched us play Germany, and we're sloppy. We're not. You can tell that they're trying to do too much or whatever, but they haven't figured out how to play with each other yet, and they're turning it over in these games, and it's bad. The Germans looked better coached. I'm not saying Steve Kerr isn't going to coach them up well, but I'm telling you, the Germans were better coached. Oh. They knew what they were precise.
Bob, to your point, personally, I'm not surprised. But when you take a group like this and so many big names, and they have to learn to play together, there's definitely a transition period. What's Kerr going to do? What can he do, really?
Well, he's trying to mix and match and find his best unit, and for the who thought there would be crunch times, right? I mean, you figure, well, they've had 2 crunch times already, and they survived both of them. The second one, though, against Germany, LeBron James went, he went into the phone booth and put on the cape and came out and he scored the last 11 points in a close game. We were trailing, but late in the game. He scores the last 11 on the one sequence. Now, and it's a combination of going to the hoop, pulling his way to the basket, and drilling a 3. But he had one sequence where he made a basket. They went down and quick turnover, quick transition. He went back, intercepted a pass after just scoring. This is 39-year-old LeBron James. And then making a spectacular acrobatic save of the pass that he just deflected and stole. Went down the other end and scored again. It was a spectacular sequence. It was a leadership sequence. And he obviously has taken it upon himself. I'm not going to be some ceremonial. They're not just carrying me so I can get another medal kind of thing. I'm going to lead you to that medal. That's clearly his mindset. Now, it's the same day he gets named flag bearer, which is already have gotten some naysayers on that one.
Why do you think so? I don't understand.
Well, one reason is, and someone pointed out, his China and Nike connections irritate a lot of people.
Oh, right.
A lot of people.
Right.
And that was cited. He doesn't even like America more than he likes China. So that's out there. He's going to have to live with that.
Right.
I think he's a very interesting choice. And I'd love to know how that works, by the way. he was nominated by Steph apparently in a video. Okay.
Okay.
Steph video, but Steph nominated him, I believe, in a video. I don't know what kind of conclave they have with 600 Olympians. Well, half of them women have one. The first time ever we have a women's flag bearer and a men's flag bearer.
Right.
In the previous year, you've only had the one flag bearer. We had two women, Dawn Staley and help me out. Somebody else very famous, not a famous woman.
I forgot. I gotta look it up.
Anyway, but now we got two. There's going to be a women's flag bearer who hasn't been named yet, and a men's flag bearer. Now, how that's going to manifest itself when you're floating down the Seine, I don't know. Is she going to be standing up in a boat like George Washington at Valley
Forge? Yeah. Crossing the Delaware?
Washington's Crossing, Pennsylvania, right near my old neck of the woods. Okay, that what I can't wait to see this. How that's going to work. But anyway, he's the flag bearer. He saved us.
I always liked LeBron. I mean, I understand the political and the economic and the labor. I get that. I mean, China, it's not a good situation, no question. I mean, I understand that. But I've always liked LeBron, so I don't. I understand people's point.
I think his basketball heart's always been in the right place, going back to high school. I
Right.
keep going back to that When We Were Kings documentary. That when they followed him around from his junior and senior year at St. Vincent St. Mary's, and they did not win as juniors, and then there was a whole season of junior year was here, get it back, revenge, and you got the impression that everybody knew who the king was, sure, but he was still just one of the guys. He never big timed his buddies, and these are some players that he had played with back to fifth grade on, and. He was happy not just to win the state championship again, but to win it with those guys.
Right.
And that came out loud and clear. And that's when that was the 17-year-old LeBron. And I always thought he's been a team player. Okay.
There's nothing better during the summer than experiencing a sunny afternoon at the ballpark, or maybe a nice summer evening, catching a ball game live in person, not streaming, not on your phone, not on the radio, not on the TV. I remember driving down from Maine every summer. It was a big deal. We get tickets to see the Red Sox at Fenway Park. And I just remember seeing the green grass as you'd walk up through the tunnel. It was like heaven. And I want you to have the same feeling. So go download the Game Time app and go see a game. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, so it's really easy to use. You can get your tickets faster and easier. Plus, as you get closer to the first pitch, the prices on Game Time actually go down. They have killer last-minute deals. They have the lowest price guarantee, and you can check out the view from your seats. Now, it's really easy. You just go to your phone, you download the Game Time app, you scan it, and you can see there are great seats to the Sox and the Yankees, or if you want that down-home minor league feeling, you can go see the Woo Sox or your favorite minor league club that's close to you. I go to Worcester and Polo Park. It is a great place to take the family to see a game. Very economical, too. Plus, Game Time also has great deals on the New England Revolution and Patriot preseason games. You can get last-minute deals and save up to 60% off on sports, concerts, comedy, and theater. You can save even more when you choose the section and you let Game Time choose the seats. You always get the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit 110% of the difference. So take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed.
Okay, let's go back to the Dream Team where you were there for that. From the get-go, they had it down, right?
Well, they needed a couple of practices. They had that famous one where they lost to the first time out, they lost to the select team, and Bobby Hurley kicked their ass, and that got their attention. I'm sure that was the happy day for Chuck Daly right away, because now he's got something he's got a coaching point to make. And they come back the next day and they destroy the kids after they were beaten by them. Right. And then after that, it was upward all the way. They were never threatened. They never trailed. Trailed one time in all the games for one possession. In the gold medal game against Croatia, Croatia took like a 15-14 lead. Barkley came down, made a three, and they went off. That's the only time that they ever trailed in any game in the exhibition season or at the Olympics. And Chuck Daly famously never called a timeout, well, that leads me to another story, but that's for another day. No, that was 32 years ago,
Sure.
and the only question was,
well, the world has changed. Bob. That's the thing, when I don't, like you mentioned, the first game for the United States team, how they struggled, or against Germany. I mean, as we have discussed on this program, that if you took an international all-star team against an American all-star team in the NBA, the international would probably win right now.
Well, it's a game we want to see. It's a game I want to see.
Yeah, I mean, so when the U.S. struggles, because we've been around too long. I've seen all-star games. It's hard, man. It's hard to get these guys all to adjust to certain rules, and it's not because anybody's being uncooperative. It's just hard to make the adjustment. So you couple that with the fact that the international competition has gone since that year. I mean, it's increased what, Bob? 3, 4, 5.
Of course, it's and it only took 12 years for us to get our comeuppance in '94.
Right.
22 years. Absolutely. 20.
Still
20 years. It took 20 years. It took. Let's see. That was '92, 60. It took 3 Olympics before we got in trouble, right. and by 2004. We did not win either the World Championship or the Olympics. We lost, and we were beaten by 20 points by Puerto Rico, and we lost to Greece. And we started losing in Indianapolis in '92. We finished 6th, and it all started in '92. So it took in '02. So it only took 10 years to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, it's an international game. Quite frankly, I think it's awesome. I mean, look, when it comes to the Olympics, I'm as patriotic as the next person, and I will watch Miracle. I've probably watched the hockey movie Miracle 100 times, and I love it. But, the world has changed. So, I mean, you met Argentina, Greece, any of the Eastern Bloc countries, whatever.
Central Europeans.
Yeah.
First of all, it was always, in the beginning, it was Lithuania. They were the heart and soul of the Soviet team that won in '88. It was thanks to those Lithuanians, and that's why when everything happened between '88 and '92, and they were able to play as themselves as Lithuania, and Croatia was able to play as Croatia in '92. They were so fiercely proud. It was unbelievable, and they wanted to show the world, that they're Lithuanians, not Russians.
You take somebody like Greece, right? So you get the freak, and then maybe you get 4 guys that know how to play together. That can cause problems,
Well, in this case, they've got a point guard that ain't afraid. It's Dennis Schroeder. Now, he's on his 7th team now, by the way, with Brooklyn. He's on his 7th team, including us. I mean, I was there one night when he had a 20-point game. I happened to be at that game, okay? And for the Celtics, he played 50-some games that year. But point is, he's a seasoned 30-year-old professional who ain't afraid. And he's loving trying to kick an American ass, and I'm not sure he's not, like he's played. It's got to be this. I know he played with LeBron. Now I'm trying to think if there's anybody else on this particular team that he actually went and played with, but probably I think just LeBron. But just so happens. But point is, they have a legitimate leader, and they've got Franz Wagner, who's a good player, and Mo, who, as Bill Raftery pointed out yesterday, is getting better and better. And of course, he and the brother play together great. And then they got these guys. This guy, Andreas Obst, OBST. I didn't know anything about him. He can shoot the damn basketball. He's 6'8". I look him up. He's 30 years old. He's got a lengthy international resume. You can imagine. He's a nice player. But he's somebody. I think somebody drafted him once. But he's I don't know if he'll ever come. He's 30 years old now. A little late to come. But anyway, he can play. And the point is, they were drilled and they were smart offensively. I want to tell you something. Every time they look for mismatches, every time they caught Derek White, who is, as we know, as much as we love him, but we know what a great shot blocker he is. He is 6'4", and if you put him on a guy 6'8", he's at a handicap. Okay, it took him, boom, the minute that there was a switch and they found him, boom, his guy got the ball and they laid it in a couple of times. They played a smart game. And of course, they make threes. All the Europeans always make threes. Oh, yeah. And they had one stretch at the end of the beginning of the 4th when they came down. Oh, did I mention Daniel Tice? Daniel Tice, you think he's afraid? And they think he's not enjoying this. And he's making his threes. He's playing. I wondered going into this Olympics, what country, if any, had enough players on one team. We know that there's great talent scattered all over the globe. Point is, in 08 and 12, there was a team that had enough to give us this major scare, and that was Spain. Well, it's not Spain anymore, okay?
Right.
Gasol, the Gasols are done and all that. But and Germany, they beat us last year in the Worlds with the team we put out there. We got a better team now, and we're damn lucky to beat them yesterday. I'm wondering if they're not, I mean, to me, they look like a sure medalist, at least. And so there's going to be competition, which I'm looking forward to.
Right.
I'm looking forward to us. And I'm looking forward to see what Canada can do. Very much so, with that backcourt of Murray and I want to say SFT. STA. Yeah. You want to see. So now another takeaway. Do we need, I'm asking, this is a rhetorical question. Do we really, do we need Kevin Durant if we're going to do it? He hasn't played yet. And he's the all-time American scorer, international, and all this competition of Worlds and Olympics since we started in '92. He's our all-time scorer. He's lifted this up over teams before. It's almost starting to look like we need him. Whoever would have thought we needed anybody?
I know, but we shouldn't. But we'll see. I think over time chemistry will come together. We hope, anyways. But it's entertaining nonetheless.
By the way, I got not about the Olympics. But I'm just. Did you see this? Are you aware of the Celtics exhibition schedule? They're opening up in Abu Dhabi.
I did not notice that.
They're playing 2 games with Denver Nuggets in Abu Dhabi, and the NBA is marrying itself because they had the 2 exhibition games in Abu Dhabi on the way. The USA team,
right?
So that'll be another sore spot for certain politically oriented people that we're.
Yeah, I know. I can't. Yeah, it's an international game. It's an international game.
Definitely an international.
I mean, and then look, just a quick side note though. Amazon wants to bid on the streaming rights for the NBA, and now TNT is back in.
Although is it not fully consummated? The NBA still got some kind of a.
It's NBC Peacock is in, but then Amazon was getting the streaming rights, but now TNT is saying that they have the right to match.
Yeah, right. They're going to do it. They want to match.
But I think what Amazon is saying, you had this opportunity before, and it's streaming the same as cable. So I mean,
way
it's
over my head. Way over my head. I'm sorry.
But it just goes to show. The international game where Amazon is where you can, you can buy your soap, watch Midge, and catch the NBA.
One other technical point about the games observed and everything. Who appears to be our most current indispensable player at the moment? Anthony Davis.
Interesting. Yeah.
We need him on the floor.
Yeah,
both ends of the floor.
The Lakers did too.
Embiid is iffy in a sense, but Anthony Davis he's been reliable. He's going to have to be out there in the big moments for sure.
So Hauser got paid.
Yes,
got paid $45 million.
The going rate for subs has really escalated some.
Man,
in the days
Scott Wedman is somewhere going. Yeah. What?
Oh, it's Steve Kaburski. My old pal Steve Kaburski is sitting there going, wait a minute, what is this? Is because that was me, and it was him for a while, and yeah. Well, I'm happy for Hauser though, fine, great, good for you. But it's interesting is that he knows that he's not going to get any more minutes, and he knows he's not going to get any more minutes than he got, or unless somebody gets hurt, and yet. He's got a job. He's got job security, and
well, it just goes to show, Bob. I mean, we just talked about the television. I mean, you take a look. It all comes down to the money. As we're following the presidential elections and so forth, and I always, when it comes to fundraising and who's going to be in, who's going to be out, I go, well, wherever the money goes, that's who's going in. You take a look at the money. We just talked about Amazon, and we just talked about NBC and Peacock, which wants to get back in the game. We're talking about billions of dollars, right? So for a team, and Wick and the Grosbecks, they'll sell their share for 2.5 billion probably. I'm ballparking. So to pay a guy 45 million who helps you win a championship.
Can you take a hold on this? Can we do a hold?
Yeah, stand by.
Yeah, I have to answer.
Okay.
Thank you.
So my point is if you look at the math, it makes sense where a guy that can shoot threes and help you win playoff games, not all of them, but some of them.
Oh, he made a contribution.
He made a contribution.
Earn that ring.
A contribution to your team that wins a championship and your team is valued at $5 billion. The 45 million makes sense, is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, the numbers we've been living with boxcar numbers for 50 years in sports by all our layman standards, but sometimes it just, but you want it to go to good people. If it's, and it appears to be that very much so. And, they have a bunch of good guys and they're certainly being rewarded and the Celtics are doing the right thing, good for him. And you're right. He made his contributions. He's turned out to be a better defensive player than people think. But I guess my thought is he didn't have any delusions of grandeur. He had to go somewhere to be a star. I mean, now some people might hold it against him. Say, oh, he doesn't have a drive or ambition. No, I think he's being very realistic. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out.
Or am I? I mean, no. I mean, if anybody, I'm agreeing with you, Bob. I'm saying if anybody criticizes him for not going somewhere to be a starter, see, if somebody does it, you can't win. The guy wants to win. Like, hey, you want to win? You want a ring? Maybe he could probably get another 2-3 rings, make 45 million after taxes down to 25, whatever. But I mean, still, and he has he serves a purpose, serves a role, has a great career. And here's another thing. This is another reason why House is valuable. You know as well as I do. During the regular season, you need guys that can fill minutes, right?
Yeah.
And his minutes and are going to go down in the playoffs. They're not going to be as much. They'll be important, but they're not going to be as much as during the regular season. During the regular season, guys need a break. You need guys to fill the gap, and he's important there too, where he can give you quality regular season minutes when it gets to be a grind for your big guns.
As an aside, I forgot before we do you know who the German flag bearer is?
I have no idea.
Dennis Schroeder.
Oh, we forgot. We go back to him.
Dennis Schroeder is the German flag bearer. And I mean, it doesn't strike the Aryan concept of previous German regimes, if you get my drift.
Oh, no, I understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah, Hitler's rolling.
I love it.
And of course, it's great. Good for Dennis.
Herr Schroeder, I love it. He's the German flag bearer. So he and LeBron. That's great.
Okay, Bob, how many Olympics have you been to?
11, 6 summer, 5 winter.
Tell me why you love summer. Tell me why you love winter.
I love it all. I love the international flavor. It's such a great getaway. And the summer, it's in the middle of the summer. You're getting away from the American baseball, the football training camps, the and all that, and see something entirely refreshing and new with an entirely different experience. And you're seeing international people. You're seeing it. It's just a wonderful free vacation as a writer. My God, you got to work, but still, I looked at it as an incredible respite and alternative. And I love the international competition. I love the international flavor. I tried to go to as many different events as I could as time went on. Just because, and didn't make them all always, but I even over the course of 6 summers. I never went to whitewater kayaking. I have to tell you right now, but I tried to go to some esoteric ones, and some of the stuff you see is just priceless. It's wonderful. And in the winter, when I first went to my first winter one in 1994 in Lillehammer, truly the only sport that I could have remotely commented upon with any degree of any knowledge was hockey. And that's not my strong point by far. But that's the only one I had, and I had to start from scratch. And of course, that was the winter of Nancy and Tanya. That was that dominated the American consciousness, of course, for the 2 weeks. But we had so many people there. Mike Madden got stuck he was basically the beat person on Nancy and Tanya.
Oh,
I did, I did some of it, but he got the bulk of it. And and I was there the famous night of the when they were skating for the medal, and she breaks the skate lace and the whole thing, and weeping, and then Nancy got robbed, and Boxall got it, and people thought that was a rehash of the old East German bloc, Soviet bloc voting, and I think it was, frankly. I think Nancy outskated her, and I didn't know much, but I knew that much. But anyway, I just loved it, and I found a sport that I became to admire these people tremendously, and that's cross country skiing.
Oh.
And the cardiovascular exuberance and expertise of these people, extraordinary. And most amazing event I saw, the men's 50K.
Trivia. Who is the legendary Olympic cross country course designer that designed multiple cross country courses?
You got me, and I was
Chummy Broomhall of Rumford, Maine.
Oh,
I'm not kidding.
You got me.
No, Bob, listen to this. Listen to this. Whoa. Ray Broomhall. Okay, you love this stuff, but I mean, you go up to my neck of the woods. Ray Broomhall, whose daughter Lynn Broomhall, I went to the dance with in 8th grade. Ray was the janitor, was our high school janitor. We called him Raisin. Wonderful man, wonderful family. All the Broomhalls could cross country ski. They were all built for it. Lynn, Phil. I mean, they were amazing cross-country skiers. And Chummy, I don't know if he made the Olympic team or he was close to making it. But anyways, he was the guy. He went all over the world. And he lived in Rumford, but I believe he ran a logging business. But when the Olympics came, Chummy, I don't even know his first name. I don't really know his name. And his brother Ray and his guys, Lillehammer, wherever, Lake Placid. I think Lake Placid was his first one, wherever. They went and they set up the cross country course.
Wow.
Maine. I don't know. I think they did 4 or 5 in a row. And I don't know, but the cross country ski courses at Black Mountain and Rumford, well, obviously, because the guys that did the Olympics did those, were phenomenal. But from Rumford, Maine, who knew?
Cross country skiing, the great rivalry with Norway and Italy in the relay, the 400, and over 3 Olympiads, they traded back and forth the gold and the silver, and the length of the final margin, total margin of victory over the 3 was about a length of a ski over 3. Right. That's how close the 3 races were, and they're phenomenal. And the people, and the thing about you going to Lillehammer, you go to a country where this is their world, this is their sport, Yeah. And it was so good because their great rivalry is Sweden, and it's like Duke and Carolina, okay, and they were both winning like crazy. The Norwegians were winning, Swedes were winning. Every night there was this big beer tent that set a big one, giant tent set up, and you would go there at night, and if they won, they would sing, and if they lost, they would sing. And everybody knew all the words. I'm telling you, it was just a 2-week fairy tale. Those Olympics.
Yeah, I grew up skiing. I've cross country skied. It is the best workout alive if you do it, and it's beautiful. My dad was a terrific cross country skier.
Oh wow!
He actually did the what was it? I can't remember with a telemark.
Oh.
And that's hard to do. But I mean, to watch cross-country skiing, I agree. The ones that are exceptional at it, it's beautiful. There's a rhythm, there's a music, there's a melody to it. It's amazing.
And they're extraordinary athletes, and but the competition was terrific. I really got. They used to kid me at the Globe after a couple of about my interest in this cross-country skiing.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, I went to winter and summer. There's a sport that I quote discovered. I mean, it was there that it frustrates me. We still don't do it. We don't do it. We're no good at it. We didn't even, the men don't even qualify, or I don't even know if the women did either. Team handball. We ought to be great at that. It's natural. It's made for us. It's a combination of basketball and soccer. And there's fast breaks and if we just all these 6'5" washed out, not good enough to make the NBA basketball players took up skiing, with team handball, we'd be awesome. But they don't.
Yeah.
Nobody in America cares about team handball, and it's too bad because it's a medal sitting there, but not for us. We don't even. Our team didn't even qualify. We never do.
We can't be bothered, Bob. Can't be bothered.
I know.
Well, listen, enjoy the Olympics. Enjoy everything. I'll talk to you again later this week. Look it up. Chummy Broomhall. Who knew it, Bob? Another piece of Rumford trivia.